Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Mukham Karoti Vachalam Bhangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Param Ananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. Sheetal Mataji, Ravi Prabhu, Girish Prabhu, and Holy Mataji, thank you. I'm so grateful to all of the devotees for taking out your most valuable time. We are reading Beginner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness, and it outlines the principles of bhakti. So we are reading a very interesting topic. We started it yesterday, setting up a temple at home. How to make every home a temple. How to not, we may not be able to go every day to the temple, but if we make our home a temple, ghar ek mandir, right? Bhavan, where Bhagavan is the center. That is the spirit of Vedic culture. So every devotee should aspire to make their home, their house, as a temple. And in that way, we can be more Krishna conscious. And anyone who comes to the home should also feel that, oh, I've not just come to a house, I've come to Dham, I've come to a temple. So in that way, every home is like a satellite center to spread the transcendental sound vibration. So with that, we will start reading from where we left yesterday. And if anyone would like to read, um, please raise your hand. So read from here. Anyone wants to begin? Holy Mataji, you want to try? Yeah, advanced DD. You can unmute. You can unmute. You're on mute. Okay, I think that's better.
Okay. Just to let you know, I think our internet connection is not so good, so sometimes it's just browsing. So I'll just keep reading anyway, okay?
Okay, thank you. No worries.
Advanced deity worship should be undertaken under the guidance of a Vaishnava guru. Therefore, such worship has not been detailed in this book. If the worship actually has a spirit of devotion, worship of the Lord in his picture from is not interior to the worship of the Lord in his deity form, composed of wood, stone, or metal. But because such worship is a little detailed and complex, the facility for such worship is generally offered to devotees who have proved their dedication over a period of time. A standard home altar should have the following pictures. Number 1, the Sampradaya Acharyas, Iskcon founder Acharya, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, B. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, C. Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji, and D. Bhakti Vinoda Thakura. Some devotees also kept a picture of Jagannatha Dasa Balaji the guru of Bhakti Vinoda Thakura on their atlas. Number 2, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavana, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami were prominent disciplines of Lord Chaitanya who, under his direction, presented to the
Mataji, I think your connection froze or something. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe someone else can read from point 3. Anyone else wants to read?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotee, Dandavat Pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya and his 4 principal associates. Lord Narasimha Dev. Devotees especially worship this form of the Lord because A. He protects them from demons and disturbances, both prominent in this dark age of Kali, and B. He particularly helps the devotees uproot the demonic desires from within their hearts. 5th, Radhakrishna. 6th, after taking initiation, or from the time one has formally accepted shelter of an Iskcon Guru, see the Guru and initiation, a picture of one's Guru is placed on the altar. Can you continue, bro? You should not place the pictures of those who are superior in the spiritual hierarchy below those who worship them. For example, never place the picture of the Guru above that of Krishna. The Panchatattva worship Radha Krishna and are worshipped by the Sampradaya Acharyas. So the picture of the Panchatattva should be placed below that of Radha Krishna and above that of the Sampradaya Acharyas. In the pure Vaishnava Sampradaya, Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, is worshipped along with his expansion, internal energies, and pure devotee acharyas. Lesser forms of worship, such as that of demigods, are not encouraged. Therefore, Vaishnavas are selective about which pictures they place on their altar. Although such respectable personalities as demigods and one's parents are certainly to be honored, they are not be worshipped in the same place as Krishna. As for pseudo incarnations and bogus sadhus, they have no place at all. The deity room can be decorated tastefully with flowers and garlands offered daily. Worship should be conducted as opulently as possible. Even those with little means should try to worship as well as possible, according to their capability. At least incense can be regularly burned and the temple room kept clean and tidy. Sorry. Can I probably continue?
Let's see if maybe next devotee can read and complete this. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. It is best to have an altar specially made from wood or other materials. It should be large enough so you can arrange all the pictures nicely on it. You should also keep a small table about 3 feet high to hold the Aarti plate in front and to the left of the altar. In front and left of the altar, on the left side of someone facing the altar. Another small table, about 1 foot high, is required for offering food, and a mat is also necessary. This mat should preferably be made of kusa or other grass, or it can be cloth or wool. This is what you will sit on while performing puja or offering food. There are, continuing Prabhuji, there are many rules and regulations to be observed in a temple room, and these are listed in the Nectar of Devotion. Householders usually find it impossible to observe all the rules and regulations, but they should aim for as high a standard as is practical. The temple room is where we invite Krishna, the master of multi-universes, to come in person and preside over our home. So we have to maintain a reverential attitude in the temple room. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back to you. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Polly Mataji and Upendra Prabhu and Shilpa Mataji for reading this section. I know there's a lot of details in here. So yesterday we discussed the importance of having a temple at home or altar at home, a sacred place where we can remember Krishna, offer arati, offer bhoga, etc. And a sacred place is very required because, you know, a place creates that environment, right? It's hard to, if let's say loud noises are there and then, you know, Bollywood, Hollywood actors, pictures are there. Can we remember God? We can remember God, but that environment is not very conducive. So when we make the environment conducive, it facilitates our connection with Krishna. That's what the temple room, the temple environment, the deities, the pictures. I like this point very much, which many devotees, you know, have this question. If the worshipper actually has a spirit of devotion, worship of the Lord in his picture form is not inferior to the worship of the Lord in his deity form. Very, very on page 45, towards the second last line, right? So it's not inferior, right? What Krishna sees is bhakti. Krishna does not see we have 1 feet deity or 5 feet deity or 10 feet deity. Or what metal is it made up of, you know, which metal or which marble or which, you know, that's all secondary. So one should not hurry that, oh, I need to get deities and this and that. One can have nice laminations, right? Easy to get a nice frame, get a nice picture, printouts, easily available, any country, any, right? And we can put them on the wall or somewhere and worship them as they are. They are not different from deities if the worshipper has that mood. So very, very important point there. Now, what all should be on the altar? Now, this is a very nice diagram or picture also mentioned here. So, especially those who, you know, as far as this can be done, right? It should be done like in Iskcon temples, in many devotees' home, you'll see like a step altar. So 6 here is one's Diksha Guru, right? Or aspiring Diksha Guru. 1A, B, C, D represents the Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as mentioned here. So these are labeled A, 1A, like, just to label the diagrams in so Bhakti, and then his Guru Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, then Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji, two. These are the 6 Goswamis. So on the same level. And then Panchatattva and Narsingadev. And in the center, middle, a nice big Radha Krishna. Now it can be Radha Shyam from Vrindavan, or Radha Shyam from Alachua, or Radha Madhav from Mayapur, or Radha Ras Bihari from Bombay. That is your choice. Whichever, whomever you feel more attracted to. But try to have actual DT pictures. Actual DT pictures in the sense, like actual, like there are many photos in Hindu tradition. We don't encourage using those, right? Are you following what I'm trying to share here? Yeah, these days, a lot of even AI is generating so many pictures. We don't encourage, try to have the actual DT pictures and try to have the full picture if possible. Full means head to toe, right? You can meditate on the feet, you can meditate on the limbs, you can meditate on the face. Try to have the full big picture if possible of Radha Krishna. Some devotees have the full Vrindavan, like Radha Krishna, Radha Shyam Sundar, Lalita Devi, Vishakha Devi, and then Krishna Balram and Gaur Nitai. That's also fine. Some devotees may have Jagannath Baldev, Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshan Chakra picture. That's also fine. But the Guru Parampara, Narsingadev, Panchatattva, or Gaur Nitai must be there. And it should look proportionate also. That's very, very important. It should look evenly balanced, right? It should not be one picture is too big, and it should look balanced and pleasing. Like Prabhupada's picture is that big and other pictures are very small. Guru Maharaj's picture is too big or too small. It should look balanced. Now, if the altar, like room is big, then bigger pictures. If one is doing in a smaller place, then it has to look pleasing and balanced. That's the idea. Again, size does not matter whether you take 6 inches photo or you take 18 inches photo. That is your choice based on time, place, situation. But it should look balanced. That's another point, important point. It should look clean, very important, clean and tidy. Not look, it should be clean and tidy. Very important. And clear also, right? There are many devotees who have wonderful altars at home. So if anyone needs help, you can easily get a lot of help. So I'm just quickly searching to give some idea or some reference there. I'll share this right now. I just quickly Googled So you see this altar, this is like a Jain altar. They have, I believe, Laddu Gopal, Gaur Nitai on the left, Guru Parampara, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. They have the deities, but pictures are absolutely fine. So one can just have pictures also. I think like look, if you look at this one, this is more like picture, right? You see a big picture of Radha Krishna and some Guru Parampara picture and other pictures. Absolutely fine. Easy and recommended. These are all Iskcon or Jain altars. If one wants to get these elaborate altars, one can get, but one can even have like a simple one, like we see here. So time, place, circumstances, right? This is a more simple one, but Krishna does not see the carving of the altar, but actually the intent of the worshipper. So yeah, there are a lot of options. Iskcon or Jain, these are all Jain or Iskcon. Jain is especially known for having wonderful altars. Because on this Bhakti, Charuswami Maharaj, yes, some devotees make like this. In fact, we also have, you can say similar, like it's not like a traditional altar, but something serves the purpose. Um, so yeah, work as per time, place, situation. This is another nice setup, right? Another nice setup. So a lot of examples you can find. Another Mayapur theme altar. So start simple. Simple, even if one puts, let's say, one has a table, basically all you need is like a simple table. You can put some layers, make some layers with wood or board or something for the Guru Parampara. Make a picture of Radha Krishna, picture of Narsinghdev, picture of Gaur-Nitai Panchtattva at one level lower. That's it. And Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, Shad Goswami, and make a space. As mentioned here, have a plate, have a table to put the Arati plate. That's also very important. You can use a small table, side table, easily it's available. And one side table can also be kept for Tulsi Devi. That's also very nice. Demigods, yeah, this question also comes. Oh, my dear father or grandfather or grandmother, whatever passed away, can I put their picture on the altar? Or my daughter passed away, can I put their picture on the altar? And it's a very sensitive question. Of course, we have attachment to our dear ones, and the loss is painful. But we can put those pictures at other places, maybe in the bedroom, maybe at other place on the study table. We can putting at the altar is not encouraged. I'm just reading from here, right? What to speak of pseudo gurus and other bogus sadhus? We should certainly not do that. Although demigods, etc., these are respectable personalities, they should be honored, parents, etc., but they're not to be worshipped in the same place as Krishna. Very clearly mentioned, page 48, first few lines. So again, our process is more of the do's. If someone has, especially in the beginning, we will not say no, no, okay, start worshipping Krishna, add Krishna to your life. And gradually, as they become more sincere, they'll understand that how to worship properly and how to give proper respect to all the other entities. So it's not disrespectful. We don't disrespect anyone, but this question comes. It's not a big offense either, right? It's not that if the right understanding has to be there, right? Like if you like in Ram Darbar, Hanumanji is there, correct? Hanuman in Ram Darbar, Sita, Ram, Lakshmana, Hanuman, right? Any temple you go. But it's where is the position of Lord Hanuman? At the lotus feet of Lord Ram, right? He's not standing next to Lord Ram. He is, always, as I think we did the drama also, Hanuman just takes the position near the lotus feet of Lord Ram. In any temple you go, you'll find his position is at the lotus feet of Lord Ram. So that's his, and he will be very happy if someone places him next to Lord Ram in a standing position. It's offense actually to him. He'll not be happy with that person. So it's not disrespectful to Lord Ram. It's actually the greatest respect to have his picture at the lotus feet of Lord Ram. He will love it because that's what his eternal position is. So is it clear the order, why to put lower, higher, which pictures to put, proportion, size, cleanliness, etc., etc.? Any questions there? Any additional thoughts there? In all these pictures you can easily get. It's not hard, right? You can easily get these TT pictures, easily available. It's not hard, especially in today's day and age. You just can get anything. And if you need help, if you're not sure where to get, how to get, please reach out. Devotees are there to help you out. Any questions about altar? Setting up altar at home, important topic. No questions? All clear?
Prabhuji, Tulsi Maharani is not mentioned. Probably it will come next. Is it?
Yeah, Tulsi Maharani. See, home altars are generally smaller, right? So in temple, the altars are much bigger, like 20 feet, or like if you go to a Lachwa, it's quite huge, right? So if you put a big pot, let's say you have come to our home. If you put a big pot on the altar with Gornitai, like you see how it will look. Can you imagine, like in your mind, right? So devotees can, if they want to, for special programs or for puja purposes, can bring in at the time and because generally they are out in the sun. Again, at home, like in temple, they are constantly changing Tulsi Maharanis. Changing in the sense, one stays in the altar, then there are 3, 4 who are in the sun. So then they rotate because whole day she'll be at the altar, then she'll not get proper sun, right? Which is like very essential for her. So then they'll change. Okay, next day the other Tulsi will come. Now she will get good sun for next 4 days, or right? Then the turn. So like that, it's rotation. But now at home it may be a little too much, right? To do that on a daily basis. If someone can do, great. But if you have to see as per time, place, situation. Is it okay?
Understood, Prabhuji. Understood.
Yeah.
See, one more. Yeah,
You
please
can
go ahead.
put small picture also of Tulsi Vrinda Devi also, that's fine.
Prabhuji, one more in the. Sorry for the background. The paragraph that I read there, it was said, a cloth on which we should sit and offer prasadam. So offering prasadam, if we are sitting and offering, then we have to sit on a cloth and then offer. Is that correct, Prabhuji? Usually, if it is high, then we don't usually sit and offer, right? Standing is okay, but if we are sitting and offering, then there should be a cloth. Is my understanding correct, Prabhuji?
As mentioned here, the offering table like 1 feet. But this is more in the temple, but at home, I don't, 1 feet would be a little too less because generally the deities are, or the pictures are too high. It has to be, as I said, proportionate. Because in the temple, if you see the offering table is not that high. It's like basically like a study table, small study table, like or lap table, right? About 1 feet high. And that's what is used to offer and traditionally, that's also used in Vedic culture. But now here the altar is at a level generally, and 1 feet table also it's hard to procure. So standard table is about 2.5 feet high, right? So most devotees use that. And these days they have like drawers also, like like with rails. So most devotees make that, or the it has already the table already has, you can say like a keyboard kind of drawer, keyboard drawer. So that also can be used. So now the question comes of sitting or standing. In temple, of course, it is done while sitting, right? The mantras and all. But at home, I think many do on standing, which is okay. So, but we can, for arati, for puja, for any purposes, standing on the mat, sitting on the mat is recommended. So that can be used while doing arati, while offering, etc., etc. Use that mat, the kusha grass, wool, cotton. One should have a mat. So the mat can be used even while standing offering. Any other thoughts or additions, questions? Anyone has any other questions on this important topic? Or add on something we skipped, something you want to share from your experience?
So, Prabhuji, for the Aarti, we always stands and do Aarti. So, we can also do while we are sitting Aarti.
There is some little difference between puja and arati. Puja is done generally sitting.
Yeah.
And arati is a public ceremony. I asked this question to one of my teachers in Vrindavan who taught me Yagya, whatever little I know. He's my teacher for that. So I asked him this question, what's the difference between puja and arati? So arati is a public ceremony, where devotees are singing, chanting, dancing, etc., etc. Puja is a private ceremony, like bathing the Lord, Shodashupchar puja, right? So it's generally done sitting. So Aarti, in Iskcon, you see at the time of Aarti, whether it's Gaur Aarti or any Aarti, except for Nourishing Aarti, all Aartis, devotees are standing. Nourishing Aarti, I believe the devotees are sitting, right? So in most Aartis, the Aarti is done standing. It's more like a public ceremony. So Aarti should not be done, especially if the worshipper should not sit. But again, due to whatever reason, let's say they are due to age or something, they cannot stand. Will Krishna not accept their worship? No, Krishna will accept, right? The famous story of Sri Gadadhar Pandit, Tota Gopinath. He was so old, he could not, like to garland, you need to have a height or like raise the arm, and the deities are tall, 4 or 5 feet. So he couldn't get up to garland the Lord. The Lord sat down to receive his garland, so he could easily garland the Lord. So if someone is like I have seen some mothers, what they do. They kind of make it like, you know, they're all sitting on a chair or something, on a table. Like she was teaching how to using small like wooden, not wooden, like cloth deities, like deity dolls. She was teaching them how to do arti, how to dress the deity, etc. Again, very nice, very, very wonderful. But generally, arti is done standing. Yeah. Shall we move to the next topic, which actually is arti, deity worship, puja, and arti. So let's go ahead and read that. Anyone would like to read?
Can I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Deity worship, puja, and arti. Here we can only briefly discuss this elaborate part of devotional service. The outline we give here will serve mostly as the guide for devotees living at home who have an altar with pictures, no installed deities. It is not necessary or even desirable for everyone to try to adopt complicated methods of worship. It is better to keep one's puja simple and concentrate more on the yoga dharma, chanting the holy names of the Lord. Although eagerness to worship the Lord is certainly laudable, we should remember that the prime means of God realization in this age is chanting the holy names. Therefore, the worship must be accompanied by kirtana to be effective. According to the Hari Bhakti Bilash and other authorized scriptures, different standards of worship are acceptable in different circumstances. The proper standard for deity worship in the temple is to have regularly installed deities worshipped strictly according to scriptural directions. But you may not be ready or capable of such worship. Therefore, you may adjust your worship at home according to your capacity. It need not be like that in an opulent, well-established temple. It is for devotees worshipping at home that these directions are intended. Another point, should I stop, Prabhuji? Another point is that there is no single clearly defined method of worship given in scripture. Therefore, what we will give here are simple procedures that everyone can follow easily. For instance, at home, it is quite acceptable and normal for women to perform puja and artis, although it is unthinkable that they could do so in the famous temples of India. Nevertheless, the generally accepted rule, even in homes, is that women do not engage in worship directly during the time of the month they are considered unclean. Thanks.
Yes, Preeti Mataji, you want to complete this section?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna devotees. Everything in the deity room and all paraphernalia for worship should be kept spotlessly clean. The deities themselves, pictures, altar, cloths, conches, cloths used in arti, the floor and walls of the deity room, all need regular cleaning. Deity dresses should be discarded and replaced at the first sign of becoming soiled and old. Brass and copper utensils should always be kept bright and shiny. Flowers used in worship are best removed from the altar at night. Before offering arti or performing puja, and even before cooking if worshipping installed deities, one should bathe and put on fresh cloth. Silk is best for deity worship. Cotton is also acceptable. Wool, although pure, is not worn in the strict deity worship.
Polyester, terracotta, and artificial cloth and cotton mixes are forbidden. Proper Vaishnava dress should be worn, not Western style outfit. Although for householders some standards in deity worship may be relaxed, devotees should not be miserly in their home worship. Unless completely poverty stricken, one should at least use good quality incense and flowers. Krishna belongs to the village atmosphere of Vrindavana and is thus greatly fond of flowers. He is more pleased with an offering of good flowers than with gold and jewels. Note that hibiscus, known as Jaba Fool in Hindi, a red flower, especially used in the worship of Lord Shiva and Durga, is not preferred in the worship of Lord Vishnu and Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Vaswati Mataji and Priti Mataji, for reading this wonderful section. So we discuss now the altar is set up, pictures are there, Guru Parampara is there, it's all set up at a prominent location in the place. Now one must do some puja, some arati, some offering, some deity worship. Now if someone wants to know that in elaborate, there's a special book, white book available, deity worship. But this will give some outline. It need not be like an opulent, well-established temple. Like in Alachua, there are at least 100 pujaris. They rotate. They have multiple times arti going on, multiple times bhoga going on, multiple times, dress change going on. And there are 3 sets of deities, or right? So small, large. I mean, it's impossible to do that at home. And this is not because ours is a preaching movement. So one time his Grace Kalakanta Prabhu, who is in charge for Krishna House and the pioneer in Western youth outreach, was asked about deity worship, and he was joking in the sense like casual note. You can say that my garland to my Gaur-Nitai is the devotees I offer at his service every year. So I offer a garland of more and more souls at his lotus feet. Right? That's a much difficult service. Every year he brings tens and hundreds of people close to the lotus feet of Lord. He says, this is my garland. That's a garland I offer them and that's but we cannot artificially imitate that. As mentioned, one should not be miserly at home. One should do one's best as per times, place, situation. Get flowers, get nice ingredients. One should get nice ingredients as far as possible, good quality, right? It's for the Lord, the Supreme Lord. Whether we are choosing food, choosing grains, choosing anything, we should try to get, as mentioned, unless completely poverty stricken. So I don't think it applies here. I've seen even in homes in India where they have, 10 people family living in 1 or 2 rooms. They also are doing deity worship. They're offering something. 10 people living in 2 rooms. There's so many people in India, but they have a heart and they have sincere desire to offer something, and they do the best they can. Krishna has blessed all of us much, much more than that. So we should use that good quality flowers, incense, etc. There is mention about hibiscus should not be used. It grows a lot in Florida, but it's clearly mentioned it's not used for Vishnu and Vaishnavas. What else is mentioned? Keep things clean. Yes, puja arati plates should be shining. Very, very important point. Should be shining. once used, one should wash them. It should be clean. Should not be same lamp is being used over and over, same arti plate. You know, there are things available. I think what do you call that? The silver cream. Anyone remembers? The silver cream we use and the brass cream also comes. It's available in Walmart. I'm not able to recollect the name. It's bluish color. You use that? Some of you use that? What's it called? Um, it's available, right? You know that, right? It's available. The silver cream for silver utensils, the brass for brass utensils. It helps to clean very nicely. So one should use them. Even in Alachua temple, if I'm not sure if anyone has been to the back side of the altar, they also use it. Mm. Mm.
Prabhuji, it's called Pitambari.
Yeah, Pitambari is the Indian
Brand.
version.
Yeah.
Pitambari is the Indian, right? Okay, I found it. You want to see how that looks? This is what many temples use. Right silver cream, right? It's called right silver cream. It's available for the copper, it's available for silver. I'm not promoting them, it's not an advertisement, just disclaimer. But yeah, it's very effective. Mm, very effective. Just in a few minutes, it will. I went to one devotee's place and we were there for a few days. They were not aware of this. So I just took it upon myself as a token of, gratitude and just got this from the store and without their knowledge, I just cleaned all these utensils and they came out like, wow. We were like scrubbing and but they were not as clean. But so, and the oxidization happens on these silver, brass, copper. So they need special care. They need more care. So one should keep them nicely clean. And there are things available. Temples use them. Pitambari also is, Imli, there are multiple ways you can use to based on, but the idea is keep it nice and clean and shiny. Um, Important, very important point.
Prabhuji, if you clean in the copper, you can use the lemon and salt. Is better cleaning.
Yes, lemon salt also is a very good. Yeah, as I said, there are multiple ways. You see what works best. Mm. Lemon salt is also a very good idea. What else? Dressing important, especially if one is doing in the temple. One should dress properly, but at home, try to be dressed in the Vaishnava attire. But if not, it's at least doing that is, you are like 90% there, like as we said, good, better, best. Doing that is certainly like at least wear fresh clothes, right? At least wear fresh clothes, but Krishna Tilak, Krishna Kanthimala, etc. By the way, Kanthimala and Tilak is like, like a married lady wears Mangal Sutra and Sindoor, right? So it's like the Mangal Sutra and Sindoor, the Vaishnav Tilak and the Kanthimala, the Mangal Sutra, telling ourselves and others, I am, my master is there, my Krishna is there, right? So, or even you take the example of a pet dog, my master, I belong to a master, right? So Krishna is our mother, father, our husband, wife, everything. Okay, we talk about cleanliness, we talk about the arrangements, sitting, standing, etc., clean clothes. There is Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavat Vidhi. So Pancharatrika Vidhi means do's, regulations, processes, all which some of that we are discussing. And the Bhagavad Vidhi is Shravan Kirtan. So Kirtan must always be there. Any arti you see, whether morning, evening, afternoon, must be accompanied by Kirtan. Because there are shortcomings in the worshipper, in the ingredients, in the situations, in so many things. But the Harinam fills all those gaps. Mantratas, tantratas, chidram, desha, kal, arha, vastuta, sarvam karoti nischidram. Sare chidro ko bhar deta hai. Anusankirtanam tava. Chidra means gap, holes, shortcomings in desha, kala, vastu, etc. Right? Okay, there is also an important point about women. Yeah, women can also do at home. In India today, in Western countries, even at altar, you see Matajis. I'm sure you all have seen devotee mothers offering arti at Alacho, etc., which is acceptable in the Western countries, but not in India. So you won't see devotee mothers offering arti in India. So, nevertheless, generally accepted rule, even in homes, is that do not engage in the worship directly at the time of the month they are considered unclean. So I think we all understand what that means. Direct deity worship can be avoided, but the Bhagavat Vidhi should not be stopped at any cost. What the Bhagavat Vidhi is? Shravanam Kirtanam. Shravanam Kirtanam should, and then encourage your husband, encourage your son, daughter to do, right? Other members to do, and you chant, dance. So, but cooking, I think traditionally the woman would not even cook, but these days there's only one lady at most houses, so it will happen. If the husband can cook, encourage, but I don't know if that's feasible. So, right. So you have to see as per time, place, situation. But chanting, hearing should not be stopped. Shravanam, Kirtanam should not be stopped at any cost. Vaishnav Sangha should not be stopped. You don't stop cooking, right? These days, like if the woman, in whatever time that she cooks she goes to job, right? Right? She goes to job, she does most everything that stays the same more or less. So why should we compromise spiritual life, right? Even offering at home can be done. Like if let's say if someone is a single lady, well, will she keep her deities hungry? No. Will she keep herself hungry? No, she has to cook and offer to Krishna and eat. So based on time, place, situation, you have to see what's applicable. Any other thoughts, questions, additions here on these topics? Tomorrow we'll cover the Arati, the actual Arati, but I think we're getting into the important topics. So we covered the setting up altar and deity worship, puja. Now tomorrow we'll talk about the actual Arati process. What are the ingredients for the Arati plate, etc. But in the last couple of minutes, any thoughts, questions, additions, or takeaways, any reflections, any corrections? Some things are a little sensitive, so please forgive me. My intent is to not hurt anyone. But these days, I was talking to my brother also, like the sensitivity level has gone to the sky. You never know how, when, and where someone could feel offended. So please forgive me if I said anything inappropriate. Any other thoughts anyone wants to add?
Prabhuji, I have one question about the flowers.
Yes,
Like,
please.
if you can explain a little bit more the colors. It's saying about not to offer red flowers to Krishna or Radha Krishna.
No, it's not about all the red flowers. It's only about the red hibiscus, as mentioned here. The hibiscus red flower.
Oh, except that Jaba.
Jaba फूल.
Okay.
Yeah, उसको avoid करना है. Red roses, red other flowers. Try to avoid flowers with artificial color. The Publix has everything like white flower में color भर देते हैं. Like try avoid that.
Okay.
Yeah, use natural, the more natural, which are seasonal. So Publix, I think most of us in Florida have access to it, and they have nice flowers. Fragrant flowers are always better, but sometimes they're not very fragrant flowers. So you can have some healthy, organic, essential, or not essential, like those oils or those fragrance or itra. You can add some fragrance to the flowers also, like gently apply on the flowers. In India, there are a lot of fragrant flowers, but US, the vegetables don't have rasa, the flowers don't have smell. Life, this is where we are. I don't know. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So, but yeah, avoid hibiscus, but roses, palm daisies, others which are available. Avoid artificial colors, flowers also. Use natural flowers, flower petals. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tulsi you can offer. Pushpa Shiromani. Tulsi is Pushpa Shiromani. One of the names of Tulsi is Pushpa. It's equivalent to thousands and millions of flowers offering together if you offer Tulsi or Tulsi Manjari. Okay. Any other question anyone has? Any thought, addition? Okay, then
Thank you, Prabhuji. Learned a lot. The book and then your explanation in detail, practical. Thank you.
what
Prabhuji.
did you learn?
So the order, I learned the order on arranging in the altar. We briefly spoke the other day. So I've my room, it's very small, but I found a plant arranger. I don't know what is called. So the inside the house, if you want to arrange the plants, it's step by step. It's like that. It's already built. We should set it up. So I bought that. So I think it is with the pictures that I have. I think it can land on the backside also. It can stand good. So to what you explain, I can arrange it nicely. And then flowers also learned that hibiscus. I've heard that in the past, but wasn't sure. Now it's in the book, so definitely. And obviously we want to, if no fragrance flowers available, then what can we do?
You add the fragrance in them.
Yeah, now that I have learned. Yeah.
Yes. So devotees are, I joke with my wife, like, see, Krishna didn't put fragrance in them, but you are putting, you are greater than Krishna. Devotees are greater than Krishna. The joke, of course. But again, the desire is to offer fragrant flowers to Krishna.
Krishna is giving intelligence to put the incense.
Itra, yeah. Very nice. Okay, so thank you everyone for your kind association. We will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next topic. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Krishna Beginner's Guide and Krishna Consciousness ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Pattanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Bol.